xaİqanațiilor. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. If I could kindly ask you to make your way to your seats, please. We're going to start momentarily. And for those on the inside, you might want to spin around so you can enjoy the festivities. Thank you. While I have your attention, how about a round of applause for Brad Prevederos? Isn't he great on the guitar? Thanks, Brad. I'll be right back. Okay, we're ready. Good evening, everyone. Elders, chiefs, friends. My name's Jeremy Brownridge, and I'm Private Secretary to the Lieutenant Governor. Welcome to Government House, the ceremonial home of all British Columbians. Thank you so much to those who've traveled from near and far to join us today, and thanks, of course, to those joining us online at home. Welcome to the inaugural BC Reconciliation Awards. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge with deep respect that we're gathered on the territories of the Lekwungen peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt, and thank the communities for sharing these lands in peace and friendship with us today. Next, I'd like to ask that you kindly switch off or silence your mobile device so we do not disturb the proceedings. We've seen this happen before. Tonight, you will see a blending of cultural traditions. The first part of the official party to enter the room this evening will be led by a Scottish bagpiper. The tradition of the bagpipes, of course, goes back centuries, where they would lead regiments into battle. And as I have heard my friend Patrick Kelly mention earlier, one of his relatives who served in the military would recount the fact that when you could still hear the pipes, everything was okay. The second half of the official party to enter the room will include, of course, the selection committee and Premier Eby. They'll be drummed in, and a little bit later, tonight's recipients will be drummed in as well. So now, if you're comfortable doing so, I would ask that you please rise for the entrance of the official parties. Please join me in thanking Her Honor's Honorary Pipe Major this evening, Shelley Thorsteinson, and please also join me in thanking the ʔitkini̔ traditional dancers. Please be seated. I'd like to now acknowledge the fact that former Lieutenant Governor and BC's first Indigenous Vice-Regal Representative and my old boss could not join us tonight, Stephen Point. He's the originator of this award, of course, and along with Her Honor, Dr. Gwen Point, I know they send their regrets. His Honor is home due to illness, but we know very well that he'll soon be okay. But please join me in sending some good vibes His Honor's way. Thank you. We're absolutely delighted and honored that Hereditary Chief Sophie Pierre, also a founding committee member, has made the journey from Ktunaat territory today and will be joining Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, in a co-hosting role this evening in these ceremonies. You'll also hear tonight, as probably a few times as we selfishly continue to plug the fact that the nominations for the 2023 BC Reconciliation Awards are still open and will be until January 20th, so please make note of that. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the BC Achievement Foundation, who've kindly and enthusiastically partnered with us in administering and rolling out the BC Reconciliation Awards. Many of their representatives here on the board and their staff are here this evening, so thank you very, very much to all of them as well. I also know they so capably run a number of other prestigious provincial awards programs, so please do check out their website and information. I will be your basic MC tonight, but I'm also so pleased to share the podium with my friend, I don't know, can I say bro? Tsawwassen, Mr. Patrick Kelly, who's here. He's a lifelong acquaintance of this office and is a founding committee member on the award program as well. He's also a Government House Foundation board member, and we're so blessed to have his support. Patrick will be the ceremonial speaker this evening, and I thank you so very, very much. And now, in fact, I'll turn the proceedings over to Patrick.
If you think the Pope had process. xaİqana̔, Jeremy, thank you very much. ACM, Siaya, Tsawwassen xaİqana̔. My ancestral name is Tsawwassen, which was given to me by my family elders on the 18th of January, 2003. And the robe that I put on, I was told when I was in the ceremony that when I'm in celebration and ceremony, I must wear it. So I'm honoring the teachings that were given to me in that regard. My ancestral name is actually from my maternal grandmother, Tsawwassen, who was also Elder Maggie Penier from Salis near Harrison Lake. ʔitkini̔. I'm from the ʔitkini̔ First Nation, which is part of the Stala Nation in the Fraser Valley. I'd like to let you know how I got involved in the Reconciliation Awards process. In July 2020, Her Honor Janet Austin expressed her commitment to reconciliation. In particular, she wanted to honor the shared idea of this with her predecessor, His Honor Stephen Point, to activate the British Columbia Reconciliation Awards. She asked me to help out with a brief paper to help establish the criteria, and of course, I was honored to help with this. I was especially pleased to hear that Her Honor had also invited Tunaat leader Sophie Pierre, who you heard briefly, former chief of the St. Mary's Band in Cranbrook, ʔitkini̔ Tribal Council President, Chief Judith Sayers, Kim Vanderwoord from the Nomgees Nation, and Nicole McLaren from the Métis Nation, and also Christopher Horsethief, also from the ʔitkini̔ Nation, to join the awards selection panel. I can tell you from working with them over the past 2.5, 3 years, they are an amazing group of people, and I'm just so honored to have the chance to work with all of you. ʔitkini̔. Together, we worked on the background paper that formed the Reconciliation Awards. It was a labor of love and a labor of collaboration, and I just want to acknowledge that because it's what I meant. It's an incredible group of people to work with. We all agreed that principles had to be the foundation of the awards criteria. Those principles are knowledge, communication, understanding, recognition, trust, respect, collaboration, responsibility, and commitment. We believe that the Reconciliation Awards represent a turning point in citizen, community, and corporate relations with Indigenous peoples of British Columbia. You will see that what the recipients have been and are doing demonstrates principled leadership. They are learning from and about one another. They are facing the challenges inherent in our troubled colonial history. We're very encouraged to see citizens from all walks of life committed to chart a new and better path for the province. This work must go on because all our children need to have hope and encouragement as we build an inclusive and respectful society where all people can be who they are and do their best. I'd now like to provide you a bit of background on my history in traditional practice and ceremony. My ʔitkini̔, Tsawwassen Maggie Penny, whom I mentioned, was brought up in a very traditional Stalo family. She was xaÐ�qana̔, an experienced spirit dancer. I spent a lot of time with my ʔitkini̔ in the xaÐ�qana̔, the longhouse, where our people do their winter spirit dance. The longhouse tradition is common amongst many of the coastal First Nations. For example, amongst the Haida, the Tsimshian, the Kwagyouth, ʔitkini̔, the Gitxsan, xaİqua, and Salish, and other nations. The 30-plus First Nation tribes in BC all have their distinctive traditional practices and customs that make up the incredible diversity of our Indigenous cultures in BC. I've had the pleasure to go to Sophie's community and see some of that beautiful ceremony, and I'm just so honored to learn and be part of this growing learning pattern. Government House, where we are tonight, the People's House, in the ballroom also has its traditions. And Jeremy's going to tell us a little bit about some of those traditions later. I'd now like to explain a bit about the ceremony this evening and its protocol. As Her Honor spent time with members of the selection committee, she heard us talk at times a bit about our respective cultural traditions. We decided that in the context of reconciliation, we needed to try a way of ceremony that demonstrates one aspect of what reconciliation could look like. The ballroom seating structure is like the seating arrangements in our longhouses, for those that practice that tradition. You saw the tradition at the beginning, where the hosts and honored guests were drummed into the house. You also saw that the hosts and honored guests were piped into the house. Two noble traditions working in harmony. All of you attending this evening are xaÐ�qanaṭ. You are asked to witness the ceremony. It is a practice in our oral tradition where witnesses are called to observe all that goes on in the ceremony. You are asked to observe that the hosts treated the guests well. You are asked to remember what you observed. You are asked to recount to others what you observed about the ceremony. When the hosts call you as a witness, they give each witness a small gift of acknowledgement. On each seat this evening when you came in, there is a government house challenge coin. That's the little coin in the little box at every seat. This challenge coin signifies that you attended this ceremony. It signifies that you are reunited with all of the others who attend here. You are to always keep it on your person. If anyone that attended brings out their coin and calls out to anyone else that they know who attended, and it doesn't matter where you are obliged to show your challenge coin. If you are called out and do not have your coin, you are obliged to buy the person a drink of their choice. If you are called out and you show the coin, that person is obliged to buy you a drink of your choice. So it's a very important coin. In a longhouse ceremony, witnesses are each given coins as a gesture of thanks. It is a practice in our oral tradition where witnesses are called, yeah, that's right. Wrong page. Again, the coins are two noble traditions in harmony. His Honor Stephen Point is not able to be with us here tonight due to a health reason, as you heard. I know from talking with him recently that he was really excited about this ceremony taking place. When ʔitkiniṭ, which is his ancestral name, was in his role as Lieutenant Governor, he carved a canoe to symbolize the journey of reconciliation. That canoe is held now at the Royal BC Museum. The reconciliation paddles that are part of this ceremony today are now a part of the crew of His Honor's canoe. 21 awards tonight, 5,319,301 to go. That's the population of British Columbia. So I'd like to turn it back to Jeremy. Bro?
Maybe after 5,319,000 years, I could speak as eloquently and wonderfully as you, my friend. Thank you. It's now my privilege to call upon Christine Sam of Songhees Nation, who will provide a blessing for us tonight. Thank you.
Just lower that. Okay. ʔitkiniṭ, sorry. Today I introduced myself as my traditional name as xaÐ�qanaṭ, and that was recently given to me by my mother and my late grandparents. I have recently outgrown my childhood name, which is xaİqanaṭ, and that is quite the big difference between the two. And I love both my names very much, and it's with great honor to carry it with me today. Today, the prayer I share with you tonight is from the 1910 Shaker Church, and that was taught to me by my late grandmother, Virginia George. She had taken the time to teach me how to pray to our good Creator from a young age, and she has taught me how to sing from my heart and sing from my stomach to our good Creator to make sure that we are receiving the great blessings from the earth and the air and the sky. And she's been such a great big part of my life, and it's with great honor to be able to carry on the teachings. The 1910 Shaker Church was used back then to be able to keep our traditional teachings and songs alive in the time so that we could be able to learn them today as best as possible. So I continue to keep these songs and teachings as best as possible in my heart and to be able to teach my children and my nieces and nephews as well. I'd like to thank the organizers and the beautiful group that stand before me for having us here tonight. It's with great honor to be able to share a song and a prayer, and it's beautiful to have Our Lady singers with us today. The traditional dance group means so much to me as well, because it's another way of prayer for us at this time. So xaİqanaṭ for having us. ʔitkiniṭ stay, ʔitkiniṭ say to manas, to son spray, sodom stay. ʔitkiniṭ say to manas, to son spray, sodom stay. ʔitkiniṭ son spray, sodom stay. ʔitkiniṭ to our good Creator for gathering us today under one roof. I pray and ask that you continue giving us these good blessings at this time. I could only pray for good words to come down to this home. Thank you again for all the healing songs that could reach each and every one of us at this time. I'd like to take this time to pray for our ancestrals that could gather with us at this time, and for all the wonderful spirits of our loved ones to continue to fill this room with one another, to join us at this time in this good celebration, and just know that they are here to watch with us in this good time. I pray and ask that the songs we sing is going to reach each and every one of our heart, mind, body, and soul. And I pray that we continue to work together and hand in hand at this time, that we continue to walk this path of life. I pray for nothing but good feelings to come down to this home. I pray for all the leadership and organizers that could make everything happen for today happen. I pray that they go home receiving a good blessing. I pray that when we are done with our event, that we are going to make safe travels home, that we all make it home safe, and then we all meet our family once again. And I praise and thank you, good Creator, for gathering us here in such a way that we are able to see one another, hug one another, and see each other smile and hear each other laugh, because that is our true medicine to keep us going in our life. xaİqanaṭ. ʔitkiniṭ stay, ʔitkiniṭ say to manas, to son spray, sodom stay. ʔitkiniṭ say to manas, to son spray, sodom stay. ʔitkiniṭ son spray, sodom stay. xaİqanaṭ.
Thank you so very, very much, Christine, for that wonderful and touching blessing. Thank you.
xaÐ�qanaṭ, Christine, for the beautiful blessing and the welcome. I'd like to call upon Sage Lacerte, a former member of the Lieutenant Governor's Youth Advisory Council, and Kate Herchak, a recipient of the Lieutenant Governor's Education Medal for Inclusion, Democracy, and Reconciliation. Please come forward to lay the blankets for the recipients. As they do this, I'll explain a bit about the blanket in our tradition. What you're witnessing now is the blanket tradition. In our xaÐ�qanaṭ, our oral traditions, blankets are symbols of respect, wealth, and honor. They are used in ceremony. They are used as currency. They are potlatch gifts. They are used to pay ceremonial workers. They are used as dowries. Blankets have many uses. At ceremony, the blanket protects the participants. In a longhouse, the blanket is laid down on ʔitkiniṭ, the ground or Mother Earth, on which someone being honored stands during the ceremony. So this is another one of our longhouse traditions that you are witnessing. While they're doing that, this feather that I hold is also another one of our traditions. This was given to me by Ken Cameron when he was the chief of the Saulteaux First Nation. And it also represents exactly the same principles that I mentioned earlier about reconciliation. So when you hold the feather, you honor those principles. So.
Big thanks to everyone who's supporting us tonight. Thank you very, very much. And now, everyone, the reason we're all here. It's to celebrate the inaugural recipients of both 2021 and 2022, an incredible batch of individuals and organizations that we'll celebrate here tonight and honor them in the best way that we can. So if I could kindly ask you to please rise for the entrance of the 2021-2022 recipients. What a round of applause for our recipients and the traditional drummers. And if you're comfortable doing so, please be seated, and we will invite the Lekwungen traditional dancers back to perform two dances in the courtyard here.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for having us here. It's an honor being here with such delegates. I'm very honored and touched that we were allowed to be a portion of this night. Thank you very much. The song that we're going to do for you is our paddle welcome song. This was taught to us by my late uncle Ray Peters from Duncan. He started the group back in 1978, and when he moved away, my parents took it back to the Songhees Reserve, which is how it became the Lekwungen traditional dancers. So that's our family here. But yeah, we're going to do a couple of songs. The first song we're going to do is our prayer song. This is one that Uncle Ray taught us, and I like to use it exactly as it is, a prayer song. I keep somebody in my heart and in my mind, somebody that's going through something. I keep them in my thoughts, and I like to think that just that little bit of a thought and prayer can help them. So I invite you, if you have somebody in your heart and in your mind that might need a little bit of guidance or prayers, think of them whilst we sing this song. It might just help. Thank you. I just wanted to briefly introduce the other two songs that we sang before we got to this one. One of them was our paddle welcome song that was given to us by a late elder from our reserve, Flora Joseph. And we use that as a traditional paddle welcome song that would have been sung back in the days when one nation would go visit another nation. The way you sang your song indicated what you were going to do, your purpose of this trip. And we sing that song as, we're going in peace. We're going to, have some fry bread and tea. So that's our paddle welcome song. And then we also did the girls' song, and that's just recognizing and honoring the women. I shouldn't say just. It's recognizing and honoring the women, and that was one of the ones that my uncle had taught us as well. I just wanted to quickly introduce my family to you before we go on to the last song. We're going to start off on this end. We have Claudette, Angela, Aaliyah, Cheryl, Cyrus, Eugene, Christine, Antisel, Gina, Kieran, and Tyler, and Sean, and I'm Beth. Thank you. Our last song that we're going to do for you is our finale song. It's a higher, fast-paced song, another song that Uncle Ray had taught us. It's a borrowed song. It's a very clappy kind of song, so if you feel the whim to clap, please by all means do. The boys will be coming out doing their freestyle dancing. The girls will be coming out and they'll be raising their hands to you. That's our way of saying thank you. Most of you probably know that already. After I destroy everything up here. So this is our grand finale. Thank you. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I forgot to announce who won the bone games. My nephew Eugene won, and Auntie Sil, I think, only got one. Yeah, so, but thank you.
How about one more round of applause? The Kwuntiltunaat traditional dancers, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Your Honor and Sophie, and representatives from the Songhees Nation, please come to the head of the room. Your Honor and Sophie, standing in for His Honor Stephen Point, will now gift each recipient with a blanket in recognition for their work. The blankets being gifted are designed by Deborah and Robin Sparrow of Musqueam. The Musqueam are the keepers of the Fraser River. As canoes glided over the river, paddles dug deep and lifted, leaving behind ripples that turned into waves, inspiring this blanket called River Ripples. Recipients, please stand on the blankets in front of you. You see the blanket over here to the left, to my left? That's, each of them is getting this blanket. Oh, yep. Yep. Proceed with yeah. I'd like to invite Her Honor and Sophie to the podium together and have some shared remarks. Her Honor to start, followed by Sophie. ACM.
Thank you, Tsawwassen, Patrick Kelly. Thank you so much for presiding at the ceremony this evening and for bringing such a feeling of goodwill and sharing into the room today. ʔitkiniṭ. Good day, dear friends. It's wonderful to be among you today, and I do mean that so very sincerely. I too acknowledge with humility the Lekwungen peoples the ʔitkini̔, upon whose traditional territory we gather today, and thanks him for sharing these lands in peace and friendship. I thank Christine Sam and the Lekwungen dancers for the gift of a traditional welcome and for blessing our gathering this evening in the spirit of peace and friendship. Elders, chiefs, and leaders, honored recipients, friends all, we're honored by your presence this evening. Premier Eby, your presence speaks to the importance of these awards and to your personal commitment to the journey of reconciliation that is needed in our province and our country, and I thank you for that. In, in keeping with the practice of my Indigenous friends, I will introduce myself by sharing that I'm a 7th-generation Canadian. My ancestors came to Cape Breton, Nova Scotia during the Scottish clearances when their lands were taken away by the aristocracy. My family found a great deal of happiness and success here in Canada, and that is success that I have subsequently benefited from. But I'm also keenly aware that my success has come at the expense of Indigenous peoples. And so, for this reason, and because I hold the privilege of serving as Lieutenant Governor, I feel a deep responsibility to be a visible and a vocal advocate for reconciliation in all its dimensions, in both my public life and in my private role. ʔitkini̔. I'm hopeful that we have reached a tipping point in Canadian society, that Canadians have finally been awakened in our hearts to the legacy of colonialism and the harms of the past, to the truth of the appalling treatment of Indigenous children in residential schools, and to the responsibility we all share to contribute to the healing that is needed in Canada. There is much work ahead. What is required is nothing short of revolutionary. But the revolution we seek will not happen overnight if it is to herald real change. It will require reforms in policy and processes, investments in social and physical infrastructure, and a sustained long-term commitment. It must be anchored in honest and respectful relationships with each other, across cultures and social barriers, in communities, and among different peoples. It is a great honor to host you, the recipients of the 2021 and 2022 BC Reconciliation Awards, at this, our inaugural ceremony. You're an inspiration to all British Columbians, and indeed, you are an inspiration to me. We are called by you to do the hard work of reconciliation, to build the trust that is needed among different peoples. Through your examples, we see the transformative power of reconciliation when practiced with authenticity, sustained commitment, and real practical change. Thank you for showing us what it means to share responsibility for each other and for the planet, and to act accordingly. You give me hope for a better world. You truly do. I close with my thanks to all who have contributed to this process, to His Honor Stephen Point, my Lieutenant Governor role model, who first envisioned the BC Reconciliation Awards and has guided us through every step of the way. It's a great disappointment to me that he's unable to be with us this evening. To Tsawwassen, Patrick Kelly, and Hereditary Chief Sophie Pierre for their leadership throughout this process and for presiding over our ceremony tonight. To our steering and selection committee members, they will be shortly introduced by Chief Sophie, and they work to shape the framework, the process, and the criteria for the awards. To our partner organization, the BC Achievement Foundation, your expertise in managing the nominations process has been invaluable. We could not have a better community partner than you. To Councillors Maggie Charlie and Jackie Albany for their generous advice regarding the protocol requirements for this ceremony, and to Michelle Sam, Jeannie Pilkey, Sage Lacerte, and Kate ʔitkini̔ for their guidance and support this evening. And to all of you gathered here for helping us to build that better world we all envision and desire. xaÐ�qanḁ. I feel very proud of the work that is done all together. And finally, I remind you that there is still time to nominate for the 2023 awards. Nominations are open until January 20th. And I will close by saying ʔitkini̔. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. It is now my privilege to invite Chief Sophie Pierre to share a few words.
Your Honor, thank you very much. xaÐ�qanaṭ biniskil ulqani kusukulqok nausan ʔitkini̔ kusilwam tskusla upkhnis aqsmaknik yunaqani kutlaat sukikil ʔitkini̔. Hey. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. And I want to thank Her Honor for inviting me to be here as a stand-in, as an understudy. Oh, my Lord, it's so, what a challenge to be here, because our good friend Stephen Point is not well, and I know that we all send him our blessings and our good thoughts for him to be with us, back with us very, very soon. It is a real honor to be here to celebrate the accomplishments, the achievements of our 2021 and 2022 recipients of the British Columbia Reconciliation Award. We're here recognizing you, recognizing the organizations that are here, you who have demonstrated exceptional leadership, integrity, respect, and commitment to furthering reconciliation, or have inspired others to continue reconciliation efforts. I would first like to share, on behalf of my colleagues on the selection committee who worked to design this award, our thanks to you, to all of you, for your hard work and your inspiration in bringing this together. What an incredible group we have gathered tonight. Of course, we're saddened that the award founder, the Honorable Stephen Point, was unable to be with us due to illness. But we know that he is resting comfortably at home with Gwen, and I want you to know that he is thinking of you all tonight as he is with us in spirit. I know we would all agree that the 28th Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, our good friend Stephen, xaÐ�qanaṭ, has done so much in his life to contribute to the pursuit of reconciliation in British Columbia and the country, and this award is a shining example of that work. Years ago, after Stephen had completed his term as Lieutenant Governor, like Patrick here, he began the work of developing the Reconciliation Award, consulting with friends and colleagues, many of whom are in the room with us this evening, the legislature, and partnering with his former office and the current Lieutenant Governor, Janet Austin. You may not know this, but Stephen's father, Cliff Bolton, designed the carved jade on the Black Rod of British Columbia, one of the most important symbols of democracy that we have, and a symbol of the tie of the relationship between the Crown, the people's representatives, and Indigenous peoples. This was part of Stephen's inspiration, and he envisioned this award as a lasting legacy, a gift to the province of British Columbia in the spirit of reconciliation. It is so meaningful to myself and to Stephen that the Speaker, the Clerk, the Deputy Premier, and Premier Eby are all here today as guests, as our guests in this special evening. Stephen had a vision, one which I feel we see realized tonight and embodied in the works of these honored guests, the award recipients, all of you beautiful people. His vision was, and remains, a journey of reconciliation that we all take together. His hand-carved red cedar canoe, currently on display at the BC Legislature buildings, was created as a symbol of reconciliation during his time in office, with the understanding that we are all in this same canoe and must paddle together to move forward, and that it is what this award recognizes. All of the recipients, honored guests, representatives of government, Indigenous leaders, and British Columbians from everywhere in the province. Together, in the same canoe, paddling toward the same place, united on a shared journey. This award celebrates the promise of the shared journey to reconciliation through the incredible work of the leaders from all over British Columbia, whose commitment to recognizing past injustices and healing those wounds will lead us all to a brighter future. We honor these exemplary contributions from Indigenous and non-Indigenous recipients alike. We encourage British Columbians from all of our communities to reflect on the stories of these remarkable people and to learn from their perspectives and to be inspired by their accomplishments. And aren't they just inspiring? There is so much power in the stories to be told here tonight. I would like to acknowledge fellow members of the selection committee, including those who led in the creation and design of the BC Reconciliation Award, ensuring the award was founded on the principles of Indigenous culture and knowledge. Tsawwassen, Patrick Kelly, ʔitkini̔ Nation, who is also our ceremonial speaker tonight. Cloisis, Dr. Judith Sayers, ʔitkini̔ Nation. Tlalisam, Dr. Kim Vanderward, Namgis Nation. Nicole McLaren, Métis Nation. And Bairdh, from my own xaÞ�qana̔ Nation. Bairdh. Dr. Christopher Horsethief. I am so honored to be here tonight and a little bit intimidated, sharing in these celebrations and recognizing these deserving recipients. Please enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Thank you, Chief Pierre, for all those wonderful, wonderful remarks. And now, everyone, it's my privilege to invite the selection committee up and Premier Eby, and we will now present each of the recipients with their special print. We have paddles that you'll see. The real paddles are here. Were created by artist Cole Speck in the first year, and Crystal Ben in the second year. And respectively, the prints will be provided to each of the recipients. So, recipients, I will be calling your name one by one so you don't have to stand for too long. I'll call your name and I'll read the citation. And as I call your name, I'd ask that you please rise and the print will be delivered to you. Okay, we ready? So, the very first recipient will be Grand Chief Stewart Phillip, of course, who was unable to join us tonight. The award of very thankful being received by his wife, Joan. Thank you, Joan. I'll now read the citation. Grand Chief Stewart Phillip has dedicated his life to defending Aboriginal title and rights, achieving reconciliation and self-determination for BC First Nations. He has worked with Indigenous organizations, provincial and federal governments on landmark legislation and policies that work to bridge cultural and ideological divides, paving the way for the passage of the Bill 41 into the Declaration of Rights of the Indigenous Peoples Act. He is a true example of reconciliation in action. Next is xaÞ�qanaṭ, which means many ways of doing the same thing research team. Many Ways of Doing the Same Thing research team has developed a community-driven and culturally informed approach to decolonizing relationships between health systems and Indigenous peoples. It's founded on mutual goals of understanding and implementing what reconciliation means and looks like for the Ktunaxa Nation, building capacity for the revitalization, restoration, and documentation of traditional Ktunaxa Nation knowledge systems and research processes. And it's been of the utmost importance to the xaÞ�qanaṭ, Many Ways of Doing research team. Thank you. Next, we acknowledge Kwuntiltunaat Chief Kim Baird. Chief Kim is an accomplished leader, a respected advocate for Indigenous people, and current Chancellor of Kwuntiltunaat Polytechnic University. During her 6 terms as Chief of Tsawwassen First Nation, she negotiated BC's first urban modern treaty, which came into effect in April 2009, providing unprecedented benefits and opportunities. Her leadership contributed to Tsawwassen First Nation being one of the most progressive First Nations in Canada. Kim believes that respect must go beyond Aboriginal rights and title. It needs to be reflected in laws, policies, and in the operations of government and the courts. Chief Kim Baird. Next, we acknowledge Marine Plan Partnership of the North Pacific Coast. Marine Plan Partnership of the North Pacific Coast, MAP, is a champion of reconciliation, demonstrating a respectful approach taken between the province of BC and 17 First Nations in creating a shared plan for much of BC's coastline. MAP has created a platform for reconciliation built on commitment to collaborative governance that serves as an example of successful co-management. Their work is proof of how marine resource management and decision-making can be enhanced by Indigenous knowledge and practices. Marine Plan Partnership, North Pacific Coast. I'm now honored to acknowledge ʔitkini̔, xaÐ�qanaṭ, and the city of Kamloops. The First Nation of ʔitkini̔ and xaÐ�qanaṭ and the city of Kamloops share a vision and commitment towards reconciliation through collaborative initiatives. They are creating enduring legacies such as culturally respectful infrastructure and agreements while educating staff and officials of the xaÐ�qanaṭ language, culture, and history. Cultural celebrations and shared governance capacity building as well. This strategic relationship provides inspiration through its growing successes and serves as a model for future leaders. It's now my honor to acknowledge Doris Paul of North Vancouver. Doris Paul is a Squamish Nation elder and has led community safety initiatives that deepen Indigenous cultural understanding in meaningful ways. Through her work with the North Vancouver RCMP, the West Vancouver Police, and missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, Doris has helped bring police and her nation's leadership toward reconciliation. A residential school survivor, Indigenous educator, and advocate, Doris Paul uses her culture and traditions to inspire and engage her community in meaningful ways. It's now a delight to call upon Dr. David Suzuki. Dr. David Suzuki's lifelong efforts to advance reconciliation have been a central aspect to his work as a prominent scientist, broadcaster, author, and world-renowned environmentalist. His efforts have helped carve a path for the government-to-government negotiations and relationships that led to the Great Bear Rainforest Agreement. Dr. Suzuki sees reconciliation as a true recognition and appreciation for Indigenous peoples and their knowledge and culture. This traditional knowledge is fundamentally unique in how it expresses gratitude for nature through ceremony and tradition, while reaffirming the responsibility to protect it. Dr. David Suzuki. Next, we acknowledge the Carrier Sekani Family Services. Carrier Sekani Family Services is a shining example of furthering reconciliation through meaningful action in justice, health, social, and family services. In 2020, they celebrated 30 years of working hard to provide holistic wellness services for the members of their nation. For Carrier Sekani Family Services, reconciliation means relationships built on knowing truths about what happened in the past and an unwavering commitment to build brighter futures for the unique needs of their community. The Carrier Sekani Family Services. Next up, Corey Payette of Vancouver. A playwright, actor, composer, and director, Corey Payette's work celebrates resilience and cultural reclamation. Through his musical production, Children of God, Corey shares stories that shed light on the experiences of Indigenous people. Thanks to Corey's commitment to his craft, thousands of Canadians understand the truth and enduring impacts of residential schools and intergenerational trauma. Corey's work has created space for survivors to share their stories. His work has given young people, many of whom have been cut off from their language or have been displaced by their communities, the opportunity to voice their experiences. Sir. Next, we recognize Diverse City from Surrey, the Surrey Local Immigration Partnership. Diversity. Surrey Local Immigration Partnership started the process that led to the creation of the Surrey First Peoples Guide for newcomers. With the intention of addressing the lack of educational resources about First Peoples in Canada, the guide provides information on histories and current challenges of Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit people. It addresses common misconceptions and stereotypes about the First Peoples and also celebrates Indigenous brilliance and excellence. Working closely with the newcomer and Indigenous communities alike, the guide uses a community-centered approach to amplify stories of land-based nations, urban populations, and Indigenous champions. Well done, Diversity. Next up, Atomic Cartoons in partnership with GBH. Atomic Cartoons demonstrated groundbreaking leadership in the production of the animated North America broadcast children's series, Molly of Denali. By celebrating stories of indigeneity, family, and community life, Molly of Denali provides an important platform to address racism, colonialism, and reconciliation. More than 60 Indigenous crew and advisors were recruited to work on the series, including writing, animation, direction, music, and voice work. Atomic Cartoons has championed a growing movement to celebrate and acknowledge Indigenous voices in all their diversity. Well done. As they say, last but not least, we're delighted to acknowledge Don Drummond of Kamloops. Don Drummond has devoted more than a decade to collaboration and consultation on thousands of projects with Indigenous communities in the southern interior region of the province. Don knows that actions required for reconciliation can take many forms. The action to complete and honor commitments, to understand the unique history and stories of community, and to appreciate culture and traditional language. In her work with Indigenous relations for the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure, her commitment serves as a role model for other ministries to follow. Everybody, Don Drummond of Kamloops. Wow, what a group. What a group. But before we ask for another round of applause for this outstanding group of folks, I did want to acknowledge 3 recipients who were unable to join us tonight, but we expect them to come next year for the 2023 version. That is Chief Bill Cranmer from Up Island, sends his regrets due to a family matter. Corporal Christopher Voller, and Brendan Esham, all of whom we will celebrate next year. And now, let's thank again and acknowledge this year's recipients. That actually almost concludes the formal proceedings. That's the conclusion of this ceremony. Dinner will start not too long from now, but we would now like to call all recipients and selection committee members to go to the drawing room where we'll do some photographs, and the rest of us can mix and mingle. Then we'll have a little bit of dinner. Then we have some more remarks from our recipient speaker and the Premier. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks, bro.
That was so great.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So they can go for dinner now, eh?
Call.